is it important to know yourself? Today we're going to be talking about why self-awareness matters. We're going to be talking about identifying your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, how to mitigate them. We're also going to be talking about strategies for leveraging your strengths to make them better. How can you improve what you're already good at? We're also going to be talking about how to work on weaknesses, especially during practice, because that's a perfect time to improve that. We're going to be balancing our strengths and weaknesses in matches, how to play smarter, how to win more effectively. And we're going to be having some key takeaways, and it's going to be pretty dynamic. So if you have a question, please feel free. This is your time. This is to maximize your exposure to tennis. Awesome. Wait. Don't read that yet. So why would self-awareness matter? Who wants to have a crack at it? Anyone? Oh, don't make me choose. Okay, why would self-awareness matter?
How do you know you wouldn't know your strengths and weaknesses if you weren't self-aware?
That's true. That's true. Another reason?
Hopefully you avoid getting situations where your weaknesses exposed.
Exactly. So why self-awareness matters? It makes you smarter on the tennis court. It helps you know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and what you're gonna go for. It helps you have a plan to develop. It helps you get on the court and feel more confident because you know what you can do. You know what your strengths are, you know what your weaknesses are. We see it all the time on TV, people going like this. It's all up here. If you can put that into perspective, and if you can put your mind into the court, you're gonna become such a high-level player. So, how would someone, let's say, identify their strengths? Let's poke on the newcomer. So,
That just walked in the door.
yeah, sorry. I saw you and I was like, perfect. So what's your strength?
Well, I'd say my forehand would be my strength.
Okay, and why do you think that is?
Because I like to hit it hard and cross court and deep. And,
Nice. Do you win a lot of points that way?
well, sometimes.
Okay, nice, nice. Are you comfortable with it?
Yes.
Okay, I love that. So when a shot is your strength, it's usually when you can hit it comfortably, when you feel pretty secure in it, and usually when it gets you the most points. For example, let's say I'm hitting a lot of inside-out forehands, and I'm usually winning the point. That's more likely going to be my strength, correct? Okay, sometimes it's hard to identify that because we might feel fantastic hitting something, but we might actually be losing. So it's good to have track of which points am I actually winning? How am I winning these points? Am I winning them because I forced an error? Am I winning because I was too powerful and I hit a winner? So it's good to know what shots you're comfortable with, but which shots are winning you matches, winning you points. So also important to know, how do you move on the court? Are you someone that's pretty intense, that loves to run around, or are you someone that's like, no, I'm gonna camp here, I'm gonna be comfortable, I'm gonna power through shots? It's important to know that because if you know your playing style, then you know what you're gonna do during matches. For example, Nadal, easy example. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna camp out in a corner and just hit big shots? He's most likely gonna run a lot, and that's his strength. So he's gonna utilize that. He's gonna show up to the court and be like, I'm gonna make 30 balls in a row. You guys better miss. And that's his strength. That's how he pulls people down. What other things we can work on? Playing style. Are you someone that wants to be very aggressive? Are you someone that likes variety? Are you someone that likes to come into the net? What do you like to do? And how can you maximize that for yourself? Mental strength. Do you get easily frustrated and throw your racket? Or are you someone that can easily let go of your mistakes? Like which mental strengths are you lacking, or which ones do you already have? Where do we want to look to and improve there? Okay, weaknesses. We all have them. It's part of being human. But let's understand our weaknesses. Are they physical? Are they mental? Are they sometimes emotional? Do we bring our baggage from outside into the court? It's important to know that because it can really affect how you play. For example, we see a lot on TV, people getting frustrated, breaking their rackets. Why? How can we fix that? For example, what would you say frustrates you more on the court? Jack, I'm going to poke on you. I'm sorry.
I'm just thinking of it. When I hit a shot that doesn't go in.
Okay, so mistakes.
Yeah, that's right.
Usually mistakes really annoy us, right? How do you respond to that?
Depends.
Okay.
Sometimes, like, if I mentally feel fine, I kind of just blow it off.
What if you mentally don't feel fine?
Oh, I'll start swearing at myself.
Okay. So negative self-talk. I see you. Okay, so usually that's what happens with our minds when we're not clear. We usually attack ourselves. We're not attacking the opponent like, oh my gosh, he forced me to miss. We're usually like, I'm not good enough. And that's attacking yourself. So that's a big weakness that we'll get into. We'll get some strategies to fix that. So how do you maximize your best shots? We all know the court, right? Let's say, do we have anybody that's pretty forehand dominant here? Yeah? Would you like to be my assistant for a sec? I appreciate you. So let's say that you prefer forehands. So where are you most likely to hang out on the court if you prefer forehands? Singles. Right here in the middle? Okay. Yeah, normal. It's good that you know that because the less they can get to your backhand, the more you can hit these forehands. The easier it will be for you to move here. So if you're serving and you want to get a forehand, you're thinking about that, right?
No.
No? Okay, well, we'll think about it
Honestly,
now.
no.
That's why we're here.
It's going to go in.
No worries, but now you know your strength is your forehand. So when you get to the court, you're like, my strength is my forehand. How am I going to get a forehand? Okay, I'll start the rally and I'll hang out here. Maybe I'll get a shot here, I can move, boom, I can hit a forehand, right? If you're camping out here, what's more likely going to happen? Backhand. So if I'm camping out here and you playing me, what's my strength? There we go. So if you're playing me, where do you want to hit the ball? To my forehand, of course. So you can start to realize the patterns that people are playing, the patterns that they don't like. Let's say that it's a long rally and they miss a shot and they scream and throw their rackets. Did you just pull a nerve? Did you just bother them? Nice. Did they like that? No. Should we do it again? Yes. Yes, we want to. If we want to win the match, of course. And, okay, serve smart is very key. So as we were saying, we want to get our strengths, right? Let's say my strength is a weakness. So am I going to lollipop the ball over if I want to get to the net? No. I want to go for maybe a hard serve or a nasty little chip slice so that I can get to the net and that I can push it. You have to, when you start the point, you are in control of your serve. That's the only thing. Everything else is out of your control, but your serve, you can time how many times you bounce it. You can time when you toss it. You can control your serve. So if you can know where you want to serve, you can exploit that for your strengths. Come on. There we go. Okay. The best time to work on weaknesses is during practice. It is not during matches. And I have been guilty of this. That is not the time to work on it. It's easier to work in practice. But how? So first, identify what your weaknesses might be. For me, an example, I'm pretty slender, so my weakness is on tour where I was getting overpowered. I didn't have that much strength. And that's something that started happening matches by matches. My opponents were like hitting through. They could see that I was going to run, that I would cover the court pretty well, so they did not want long rallies with me. So what did I have to do? I had to get into the gym. I had to get off my elliptical that Alfredo knows I love. I had to get off my cardio and I had to get into the gym. I had to bulk up a little bit more, but at the same time, I'm not a power player. I need to identify that. I am not a power player. So I need to be strong, but I still need to be fast. So build up your strength if you need it, but don't forget, your strength, but don't forget your strengths. Sorry, that was odd. But you get it, right? You're smart cookies. Okay. So let's say my weakness is that my movement is not the best. You can do it with a coach. You can do it by yourself. Just go outside on a court, maybe put some music on if you want, and start moving little by little. You don't have to be a marathon. You just have to start moving a little bit. Okay, I recover, cool. Okay, I'm recovering. And by the time you get more comfortable, boom, you're gonna get fast. You're gonna be able to get into those levels. But also, when we're talking about our weaknesses, do not forget your strengths. We all will say that we have a ton of weaknesses, but you also have strengths. Never forget that. Those strengths will give you confidence. Strengths are super important. So we can see that everybody in the tour likes to go work out, but for example, Sabalenka, she's a very powerful player. She needs mobility. She'll go for more mobility when she's at the gym, then she'll go for strength because she needs to be able to move. She's already strong. She's gonna overpower you, but she needs to move a little bit more. Sakari, on the other hand, she needs to focus on her strength because she's a powerful player. She is one of the fittest people on tour. And you see Stefanos Tsitsipas, he likes to move on court. He slides, he moves, he needs to be athletic. So he's always doing, in the gym, he's always doing, you know, like with Dom, that you're doing agility stuff. He's not gonna be there deadlifting because he needs to be fast. Okay, so how to balance your strengths and weaknesses once you get to a match. It's very important, and I would recommend, if you can, before a match, to write down 4 or 3 or 2 of your strengths. Just always keep that in mind. Don't write down your weaknesses. We'll get to that in practice. That's when we practice. Your strengths are important during matches. It's nice to write it down because it gives you a little visual. Sometimes when we get to matches, it's so overwhelming that we forget. But don't forget what you do well. That's always important. For example, you'll always see Nadal. Oh, oops, there we go. You'll always see Nadal. Doesn't matter where. It's a forehand. He wants it. He'll come here. And if he had a notebook, I'm sure it'll say, take forehands. I'm sure it'll say, grind your opponents down. Vamos, come on, stuff that helps him, stuff that strengthens him. So here, I don't know if you guys can see him, but that's Medvedev. He's one of the most adaptable players on tour. In this match, he didn't need to be that far close into the net. He could get a ball in this powerful serve. He could get it back and then build himself back in. But when he was playing Sinner, he couldn't, because as soon as he was too far back, Sinner just ran him to the open court, no shot. So he had to adapt. And he did that during matches. That's also something we need to do. How do we adapt? We'll adapt, but we will never lose our strengths. Medvedev, really good backhand. So even if he's adapting, he's not gonna stand here. He's still gonna start here and say, okay, serve to my backhand. My backhand is world class, do it. But he's adapting, keeping in mind he's still using his strength. Okay, so self-awareness is key. This is something that Andy Murray wrote to himself. And it's crazy because the first thing, the most important thing he wrote to himself is be good to yourself. He didn't say, oh, you have to win. Oh, you need to be the best. No, he said, be good to yourself. So be good to yourself. Andy Murray's a champion. He's an Olympic champion. And he's kind. He wants him to win. Your worst opponent on the court is yourself. If you are playing against an opponent, you already have an enemy. You don't want to have 2 enemies. You want to have a best friend up here. So when the self-talk comes, because it will always come, you want it to be positive. You want that negative self-talk to not be here. That self-talk, not on my court, maybe in the toilet or maybe over there, but not here on the court with me. On the court, you're your best friend. You'll miss a shot, no worries. We'll move over. Let's remember my strengths. I just missed a forehand, no worries. My forehand is my strength. I'm gonna go for it again. It's my strength. So just keep reminding yourself of that. And when we go practice, that's the time when we can either hone our skills, hone our strengths, or that's the time when we work on our weaknesses. If we just go and practice and whatever, cool, it's still fun, but you're not actively working on stuff. You need to incentivize yourself so that you're always motivated to improve. And if that helps you, then your tennis will be elevated to a higher standard. And honestly, be honest about your weaknesses. I hated it when people were like, you're being overpowered. It made me feel weak. It made me feel insecure. It made me feel, oh my gosh, I'm not enough. I'm not strong enough. But that's not it. This is my body type. I will adjust and I'll adapt however is necessary. But it takes a level of honesty with yourself. And you can do that on your own. You could do it against the mirror and just say, hey, okay, these are the things I want to work on, and I still believe that I can do this, so let's do it. It's your best friend. Yourself, your best friend. Your mind, your best friend, not your enemy. Okay, let's do some Q&As. So, anybody have questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, improvements? Oh, come on.
You said like when you were serving,
Mm-hmm.
how do you serve it so that they can serve to your strength? Can you like give us an example? If
Yeah,
forehand is your strength, or would you serve this backhand is your
of
strength?
course. Yeah.
Outside and inside?
Yeah, of course. So let's take me, for example. I love my forehand, especially my forehand inside out. So when I'm standing here on the do side, my serve to go and the serve that I'm gonna work on the most is the slice wide. Why? Because if I'm sliding wide, my opponent is hitting the ball here. Are they gonna hit it down the line perfectly into my backhand? Most likely not. If they do, that's great on them. But most likely, I'm gonna get a good crack at a forehand. So if I'm serving wide, I'll stand here, so I'll serve, boom, get it. I'm standing here, I'm looking for a forehand. It's easy to get here, 2 steps, see? Or it's easy to get here, 1, 2, boom. I can get a forehand and I can dictate because it's my serve and I control my serve. So that's why when I go on the do side, I practice my wide. If I'm over here, and this, for some people that saw us yesterday, I did mention this. I like to open up wide. I like to open up the court. So I'll go kick wide. Why is that? Because my opponent will most likely be here, two-handed or one-handed, they'll hit here. They're already standing here, you know? And I'm standing right here. So my positioning is way better. And I'm most likely gonna get a forehand. So that's why I like to open up the court. If you're looking for forehands, let's say that you're looking for backhands. So like Swatek, she sometimes looks, or Coco Gauff, she sometimes looks for backhands in the middle. And it might look weird, but they like it. They'll probably go maybe more middle, maybe more tee, because the ball will more likely come here. Sure, the opponent will be right there, but she'll get a crack at a backhand that she likes. So if you go here tee, more likely that they will go to your backhand. If you're looking for that, fantastic. And if you're going tee, pretty hard to go inside out, or inside out, powerful enough to get to someone's forehand. So you gotta pick and choose your targets. On this side, you can go a bit wider though, if you're looking for backhands. Because if you go wide, it's likely that they'll go cross court. Pretty hard to pull that inside, like down the line. So if you go wide, you can tag that line, you can tag that back cross, you can even come in, you have more options. So it's just playing around with the court. And this sounds redundant, but it's really helpful, and I've seen a lot of pros do it. They go outside alone and self-feed. And it's crazy, like you'll see them in empty stadiums, but they're working on it. They'll grab balls, toss it, they're working on their footwork. They're working on like attacking balls. They'll even toss themselves the ball in the back and work on high backhands. It's a source that you can have and that it's not shameful. To go outside and work on your strengths, work on your weaknesses, it's pretty cool. So if you don't have a coach or if you don't have a friend that can help you, you can always self-feed. Just grab 2 balls, self-feed, work on it. Maybe you want to work on your forehand cross court. Okay, grab a ball, boom, we got it. Okay, let's hit 3 balls in the oh my gosh, what's the name of this? There we go, service box. I got you guys to participate. So let's do it. Let's sit down. We put music on. Boom, I got 1. Okay, cool. 2. Oh, maybe I missed it. Let's do 3. Okay. It's fun. It's exciting, and you're working. You're working on stuff. Maybe you don't have control. Do that. You'll get control. Let's hit on all 4 corners. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. It's easy peasy. It's fun. So there's creative ways of learning and of using the court to your advantage. More than just, oh, I need 4 people to be there to do it. You can do it alone. You can do it with 4 people. You can do it with 6. There's so many resources and ways of doing it. Anyway, another question?
What do you do when you have negative thoughts? I mean,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
never going to get in a match and not have something
Oh,
in
yeah.
your head, right?
It's
So
normal.
how do you distract yourself from, or divert yourself from those thoughts?
Yeah, so totally normal to have negative self-talk. It's human. We're always going to have it. If you don't have it, like, wow, yeah, amazing. Whenever I have negative self-talk weighs you down. It's heavy. It's like nerves. It doesn't feel heavy, but it is heavy. So let's say I miss a shot and I say, oh, that wasn't good enough. What am I telling my brain? Oh, you're not good enough. Oh, you'll never be good enough. And that hurts. That hurts for you to say that to yourself. So why not, instead of, you'll get that, and you'll say, oh, that's not good enough. Okay, how can I improve it? Oh, it was my footwork. Okay. So instead of telling myself and making myself feel bad, I'm giving myself an action. I'm giving something that makes me not think about, oh, I'm not good enough. It makes me think of, oh, I needed 1 more footstep. I needed this. Oh, maybe my arm was a bit too low. I'll get it up high. I'm giving myself an action and a correction that will help me. And when I was in college, our coach told us, and he was awesome. He won NCAA titles. We lost in the finals. Like, it was a pretty good program. He told us that every 1 negative thought, you have to say 5 good things to yourself. That's how heavy those are. So whenever we would say something, he'd be like, nope, gotta compliment yourself 5 times. Sorry. And then you have to do it. And it's crazy how cool that improvement is. Within a few days, like, you just have to do it. I'm sorry, let me poke on someone else. You. In the back. Yes. Tell me 5 good things about yourself. You can say only 2. Let's go.
Oh, this is tennis related?
Anything related. Just 2 good things.
Slice backhand and consistency.
So that's the things you do well. Okay, so say it as, I have a great slice backhand, and I am amazingly consistent. Let's hear.
Slice backhand and I'm amazingly consistent.
I love it. Nice. How does that confidence feel? Pretty good, right? Yeah, nice. Okay, let's do someone else. Let's go over here. You, sir. Tell me 2 good things. Anything in it. You can say, I'm a fantastic Catan player, or I'm a fantastic golfer, whatever you want. You got it.
I mean, I have a good forehand, I guess.
No. Let's do it again. Yeah, you have a great forehand.
Driver, I don't know.
Yeah, okay, let's do those 2 again. I have a great forehand.
Okay, I mean, I have a great forehand.
I love it. And you're a fantastic driver?
I'm a tremendously good driver.
Nice. That's what I like to hear. That's what your brain likes to hear.
And by the way, he has a great forehand.
Yeah, come on. I guess I saw you hitting that forehand. Come on. So that's how you kind of like start feeding your brain that good food. You wanna give it good thoughts. You want your brain to be excited. I know matches are stressful, and there's an old saying that you feed the wolf that you choose, right? You can feed the angry wolf, the emotional wolf, the frustrated wolf, or you can feed the optimistic wolf. You can feed the wolf that's looking to improve, that's looking for better. So you choose who you want to feed. So if you have that negative self-talk, no worries. Let's give it 5 good thoughts, 2 good thoughts, 3 good thoughts. Whatever time you have, just feed yourself. Feed yourself a little bit. And also, whenever you lose a point, respond. It's okay. Do we need to let it go? Okay, we throw it in the trash, no worries. Oh, we hit a great shot. Fantastic. Pumped. Yes, come on. Then respond, relax, point is over, refocus, I'm ready for this point, I'm returning or I'm serving, and I'm ready. Those are the 4 R's to focus on. Respond, relax, refocus, ready. And the cool part is it's in your control, because you can respond, you can relax, you can refocus, and then you're ready. Awesome. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Alex?
How do you, in the middle of a match, let's say you've blown out the first set, you lost it, you didn't even get a game, right? And in your head, you didn't even get a point, of course you did.
Yeah.
So how do you refocus in the middle of a match?
I like to trick my mind. I like to trick my mind a lot. So when that happens, I think, oh my gosh, this opponent is playing super well. I'd be so lucky if I get 1 point. And the moment I get that 1 point, oh, it would be amazing if I can get 2 points. Whoa, can I get 3 points? Can I get a game? This is amazing. And if you get a game, I already did better than before. This is awesome. I'm playing with house money. You gotta trick your brain. You have to keep your brain focused on something in the present. You can't be thinking like, oh, I just lost 6-0, I'm a loser. Well, what's gonna happen? You're probably gonna lose. Like, no, gotta be like, okay, no worries. This is a challenge, and I'm embracing it, and I'm excited, and I'm gonna get 1 point. I'm gonna get 1 point. Now I'm gonna get 2. And you just give yourself little things in the present, because you cannot control the future. You can control now. I can't think, oh, I'm gonna touch the net. But I can think I'm gonna step toward the net. I'm gonna take another step. I'm gonna take another step. And I'm getting there, and now I'm gonna touch the net. You have to take those steps. You can't just parade. You can't just fly there. We're not superhumans. We are humans, and we need every little step. Any other questions? Yes?
I'd be interested to hear how you incorporate the concept of having fun
Yeah.
into what you do, because like when I watch tennis, I can't always tell if those people are having fun.
That's true.
They are a lot of the time, but
Yeah.
there has to be some semblance of fun in order for you to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So, like, what is your concept of fun in tennis?
It's tough because, yeah, you'll see a lot of suffering in tennis. We tennis players, we're obsessed with our suffering. We're like, ah. Anyway, it's important to remember that you don't work tennis, you play tennis. And what is playing? It's that joy of being able to compete. It's that joy of getting out there, of moving your body, of being outside, being indoors, of enjoying it. It's you play the sport. You don't work the sport, you don't live the sport. You could love tennis, you know? You could say, I live life tennis, but you still play it. You don't work it. And sometimes, and it will happen, and it's happened to me, and I know it'll happen in the future, that I'll start getting frustrated, and I'll start feeling like, I need to do well, I need to win. And that's gonna be heavy. That's heavy. I need to remind myself, I play this sport, I enjoy it. I'm so grateful I have the opportunity to be here. I could be somewhere else. I could be struggling. And instead, I'm blessed to do this wonderful sport as a job. Those little things change the perspective so, so fast. From a suffering, from a work, to a, wow, what a beautiful day. I get to be outside with my racket and my water and my iced water sometimes. And I get to play. What an honor. If you really switch that, it becomes more and more fun, more of an opportunity, of a gain. It doesn't become a burden. But yeah, so that's how I try to switch it up. But it's normal to have those thoughts. It's super, super normal. And you'll have them, and they'll go away, and they'll come back. You just have to be like, okay, go along, pass off. Okay, bye. Now I'm going to enjoy it. Oh, negative thought. Goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, enjoy it. Any other question, concern? No? We good? Are we going to enjoy afternoon today? Yeah, let's go. I love it. Thank you for coming, guys. Really appreciate it.